Let me jump over to our good friend and you wonder why we have an in-house psychotherapist. Every Wednesday, we are visited by Jill Payne, our in-house psychotherapist, a member of the American Association of Psychotherapists. She's an author. She's a friend. Met her through our friends at Houston Baptist University. And she needed help with her website, so we built it here. That's what we do. We build websites and create media and marketing campaigns. We met her, and then we said, you got to be on the show, and this, that, and the other. How are you, Jill Payne?
Great, and I get a lot of compliments on my pretty website.
Oh, you deserve it. And Jill also is one of the few people who took us to lunch because 512 New Media, my company, is 512 stands for May 12th. So it's my birthday, it's Roman's birthday, it's others. So Jill takes us to lunch now on May 12th for our birthdays. That's very sweet of you. Thank you.
That's the most important day of everybody's life. It's a celebration of your birth. You know what? I had a friend of mine that every birthday he would send his mom flowers thanking him for his birth.
Oh,
Yeah.
Isn't that nice?
Isn't that neat?
Now I feel like a schmuck. I've never done that to my mom. Never sent her flowers. I was born on Mother's Day, so my birthday, when I was born, it was Mother's Day, the 12th. And then my dad always joked. He says, "Yeah, we liked it, but it just came, the wrong size." So, like one of those gifts, take it back. Yep, growing up in the city, that's how it was. 5 mouths to feed, one guy working for the city. All right, so lots to cover today. You go first. You're the in-house psychotherapist.
Okay, well, I just thought we could talk about Kim Jong-un. I love his name. It's a tongue twister. And that to me, everything is going to work out. He is playing Trump's game because Trump is a businessman. So it's a power struggle right here. And so all he's doing right now with with the South Korea, the suspension, he's just sort of saying, hey, look at me. I have power. You all are going to need to listen to me if I'm going to be coming and talking to you, Trump. His behavior, that's what his behavior is saying. He does a lot of behavior. Let's talk more behavior. So Trump, he doesn't know who he's dealing with because Trump is not a politician. If Trump were a politician, I wouldn't feel so secure. This is a business arrangement that's going on. And you were just talking recently on your show, something about, I think you were talking to the general about give and take. Did you give to the other people and got something in return?
Yes, Special Forces Colonel Bucci, I said, when you do these missions, like for instance, the exercise with South Korea, do y'all get together, break bread, and trade stuff? I don't know. I don't know. I'm never in Special Forces. And he's like, yeah. So, they talk about trading. And they I like the knife or I like these gloves, and you trade them with the other people.
Exactly. So when you do that, if you give, okay, so there's 3 things. When you give, it gives, you get serotonin is released from the brain. When you receive, serotonin is released. If you see someone doing some wonderful behavior, serotonin is released. So it is a psychological thing that they did. It also is giving a physical good feeling release. So you want people to not only believe that it's a win-win situation, also give and take is really causing a physical reaction, not just a mental reaction, causing a connection. You want to get some type of positive connection with the person that you're going to be doing business with. And we are doing business with North Korea. That's it. It's just a business arrangement. It's not political. It's a business arrangement. So that's what's going on. And I know they're still going to meet. And matter of fact, I was very happy they're meeting in Singapore because remember they were going to meet at that, what was it, the DMZ? Is it?
I think there's security issues on that hunk of dirt called the DMZ.
Right.
You need a neutral spot where we can really turn into a national security event bubble to secure it down. So Singapore is a better place, I guess, according to
much better place.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we were talking about, so that's also something psychological because you never want to meet someone on their turf. because then they have the upper hand. This is if you meet it's a business thing. If I go to somebody, I want to meet them usually at a neutral place. A lot of times I'll meet them at my office, which is not a neutral place. I will have the upper hand.
Yeah, but but you know what, like with clients, I love going to their places of business.
Right.
And I don't feel it's, it's a turf thing because I get to learn by scanning, and I can learn more about that man or woman, that potential. We have an 82% conversion rate of when we meet clients and turning them into clients of our company. I love going to the offices. Had a guy, it had nothing to do with anything. I look over and I see a box of ammo and it says 50 cal. And I love shooting the Barrett M106, which is a high-powered rifle. And I'm like, sir, I said, it's 50 cal, you have a Barrett M106? He goes, well, how'd you know? I said, well, I love to shoot. I'm at 3/4 mile, 16-inch steel plates. He says, really? And we just went off. And, not only do we get him as a client, he recommended someone. Said, you got to call Sam Malone at 512 New Media for the commercials. I like going into your backyard because I can learn more. I'll look at your graduation, pictures of your family vacations, signed memorabilia, books you may have read. I profile. I got my content. I'm bonding. We're good.
And that is good. And I'm just saying psychologically, that it's great. I mean, you go there and you use it. It's just it gives somebody an upper hand if you meet them on their turf. That's just how it's a power thing.
I like. I hear you. No, I hear you. And that's what. And the fat kid in North Korea is going to have to go to Singapore, which they don't even have aircraft, or they think they move by train. I'm not going to get them there. But real quick, he had said that he would cancel the meeting because of the military exercise with South Korea, and now reports in my earpiece, joint exercises between the U.S. and South Korea will move forward, but we won't be using B-52, the big bombers we have, and 8 F-22s, the high-tech Raptor jets, will not be used during the drill. So we are negotiating. We're pulling some of our military aircraft off the table for the drill so we can still continue to meet with the fat kid in North Korea as we speak. That's interesting. Stay there. Jill Payne, our in-house psychotherapist. I got to get to the brand. All right, 9:22. Let me get back to our in-house psychotherapist, Jill Payne. She's on Skype, which is so cool. We're the only morning show in America that actually, besides being televised, in this beautiful set. Looks like ESPN here. If ESPN wasn't God us all left. And Jill's been up here. She's been up to our studios, and as we go to commercial break, I'm working. So we use those 3 minutes in radio. The old days of radio used to just whatever, sit there and talk, eat a donut. Today, in Jill sees it when we go to break, we're working. It's just amazing. So she's waiting for us to come back. But anyway, thanks for your patience. Thanks for being a guest on our show.
Thank you for having me, Sam.
All right, so real quick, going into the break, you were talking about when you meet people. And it actually started with a fat kid in North Korea meeting with Trump. And he's like, look, I got a little juice now. I got a little vig. So I'm going to complain about the military exercises with South Korea. And then the U.S., and Trump's, negotiator, and he said, look, you know what? Here's what we're doing. We're not going to end our military exercises with South Korea. We'll just pull some of our strategic bombers out of it. With the Stratofortress. If you've ever been near a B-52, they're just bleeping huge, and some F-22s. But other than that, we're going to continue on. So a little negotiations going on, and then Jill was making one more point about negotiating with someone when you meet with them. What's your tip there?
I said that when you're meeting with them and they don't need to know that, you just make your chair higher. So you sit higher than them. Everything is position. It's the dynamics. It changes the dynamics so that you're bigger than they are, and they don't really know it. It's just the same thing as what people do with the color of the room, the color of your clothes. It all affects everything.
And if you watch, and I mean, you're right. If you watch the late night shows, which I don't, but when they first came on, I remember Jimmy Kimmel, and who's the other guy? Fallon. What's his name? Jimmy Fallon. They sit strategic. I mean, significantly higher. Because they're like really skinny little weak men, but they sit a whole bunch higher than their guests. Right. So when a regular sized man or woman goes on their show, they just look so small. They're like,
Right. So it's very interesting. And, the peacock effect. So if you take up, whenever you're with someone, if you take up more space, the more space you take up, the more powerful you are perceived.
I thought the peacock effect was you take them to Vargo's for lunch.
That's one.
Do you know what that also? That's an old.
It's no longer.
I know. That's an old Houston reference. of a restaurant. That was gold. I'm going to slap myself on the back. Okay, real quick before we move on. I like being the underdog. I don't know what that says about me. I'm probably weird because you're the in-house psychotherapist. I like going to the other person's office. If they want to sit higher than me, God bless them. I say it's not an even fight in negotiations unless it's 3 against me when I do contracts, especially radio and TV contracts. I love being outnumbered. I just like it. I don't know. I don't need to sit.
It motivates you.
It takes me back to when growing up in Philadelphia, where my mom told me we couldn't afford blue jeans, and that really changed my life. And fighting, it was always outnumbered. It was never fair, and you're just used to that. I just like it. I like negotiating against multiple parties at the table. It just gets me fired up even thinking about it. I just love it.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with everybody. That's what I tell. Everybody is unique. Everybody has their own language, their own perception, their own behavior, and it's whatever works for you. I'm just saying psychologically, if you want to have the upper hand, this is what you do. If you want to just go ahead and do that and it works for you, you got to do what's working for you.
I bet you Donald Trump, and this is Jill Payne, our in-house psychotherapist, I bet you Donald Trump is such a man, he could roll into those negotiations outnumbered 2-1. Let's say there's 15 members of the North Korean delegation and maybe 6, 7, 8 for the U.S. delegation, he would still wipe the floor with the fat kid from North Korea, because negotiating is in the heart, negotiating is in the brain, and negotiating is in the mouth and the eyes and the breathing, and it's all one machine working together. And the fat kid from North Korea can have 100 people on his side of the table. But because he's not good at it, hasn't done it, hasn't mastered it, hasn't wrapped his arms around it, hasn't wrapped his intellect around it, he's going to get his ass handed to him by a loud guy who makes his living in Midtown Manhattan. Booyah!
And that's called the winner effect.
What's that?
Trump has the winner effect. So it's a known fact that if you have little kids, and I know you're not supposed to win anymore, when somebody wins, it does a chemical reaction to their body, and so they continue to be that winner. Really? Even if they may lose one time, they continue to be the winner. The same thing with when the people lose, they start getting that helplessness theory. So Trump is a perfect example of what is called the winner's effect.
The winners, WINNERS or apostrophe S, if you plural, unplural. Effect. A winner's effect, whereas you win, it feels great. And you just keep rolling. Outstanding. Keep rolling. I love it.
There you go.
You know what? Let's just spread the winner's effect. Hashtag winner's effect. Let's just do it. Go to work today, y'all. Go kick ass because you're a winner.
I love that. That's wonderful.
And just steamroll everybody. I mean, LME, legal, moral, ethical, but steamroll them. Just put them out of their misery. Close them down. It's your world.
Oh.
I sound like Tony Robbins.
I want to clap. That was great.
I think my crew now wants to walk on hot coals. No, you don't have to do that. Put your shoes back on. I love that. The winner's effect. Trump has it. Good luck to the fat kid in North Korea. You're going to need it, Pally. This guy's put up, high rises in Midtown Manhattan and taking on the Teamsters. You're nothing.
This is a plus what he did, because it's all psychological. So Trump is loving what just happened because he gave a little. And so now North Korea is feeling a little bit more powerful, which is very important when he comes to the table.
I love it. The winner effect, according to is this wiki, is a term used in biology to describe how an animal that has won a few fights against weak opponents is much more likely to win later bouts against stronger contenders. So if an animal, I don't know whatever animal it is, took on some weaker animals and kicked some can, but they get that feeling of victory, and they can take on a bigger and stronger and faster contender and more likely to win. Damn it, I love it. We are, Mr. Tilder, put that in a liner. The home of the winner, not winter, but winner effect, okay?
Winner effect.
Winner, W-I-N.
You all are winner effects. There you go.
I love it. And folks, if you're negotiating today or selling today and you're outnumbered, do not fear. It is great training to take on 3 people on the other side of the table. And if you're sitting in the smaller chair, great. You just got a better aspect and view of the walls. You know what I'm saying? Scan the walls, look for memorabilia, vacations, diplomas, knickknacks, create conversation, build the bridge, close a deal, get the hell out and celebrate with a good glass of scotch. You must roll your eyes when I talk.
I just smile.
You must be like, that dude is cray-cray. All right. Listen, have a blessed day. This is Jill Payne, our in-house psychotherapist, a member of the American Psychotherapy Association, and she's an author and good friend of our show. Have a blessed day. I'll talk to you next week.
You too.
Wow.
I love it. Very inspirational.
Thank you, man.
You have a wonderful day. Bye, Sam.
Bye. The home of the winners effect.